Hi guys, welcome to the karmic part of our reading. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I did a first reading for finding out your zodiac sign past life. So what sign of the zodiac were you in the past life? And then also what your life was like. You can find that video in the description. Today we're going to talk about karmic significance of that past life. And there's two ways you can watch. You can choose a number 1 through 12, so 1 through 6 here and 7 through 12 down here, and then go watch that part of the video for clarity on that number. Or you can jump to the end of the video where I'll actually show you what sign each of these cards is right at the end. You can find that timestamp in the description and in the comments, and basically jump to that part of the video. That really connects this video to the first video. So if you in the first video found out that you were a Virgo in your past life, then this is the last part is going to show you where the Virgo sign is, so that will be easy for you to find out. In this video, what we're going to take a look at is what is the karmic message for this lifetime, what is the significance, what are some of the themes that have happened to you time and again, and how to work your way through them. I found this a really beautiful reading, so I hope you enjoy it. So you can watch this on its own, or if you want to watch it with the other video that I did on the main channel, then go watch that other video first, find out what sign you were, then come over here and take a look at that sign by watching that last clip first, if that makes sense. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a nice day. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. This is the Pick a Card channel, so it's separate from my main channel, which is called Varouche. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye. Hi guys, if you chose this option, you got Leo. Okay, so this is not a reading for that part. If you want to watch the part about what sign you were and what your life was like, then watch there. Here, the Leo is a marker for the other reading to come over and watch, but here is your karmic message. So this doesn't mean that you weren't a Leo in the past life, but the karmic message is there was a situation involving somebody really wanted to achieve a lot, and I think that they put themselves on the line into manual labor or some kind of work in order to achieve something for their family. So somebody very early on was a breadwinner, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So there was an offer for them to make more money, to go in a new direction, and I think that they took it, but they were very young and they didn't really have anybody to watch out for them, so they had to watch out for themselves. The next message is the Four of Pentacles. I feel like they faced a lot of opposition with regard to money. I feel like they, in some way, there was a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles with regard to money, and I feel like that resonated into this life. So it's like if you're finding yourself choosing this option, maybe making money seemed to be full of challenges and obstacles for you. The next message is the Star. So early on, someone had gained an advantage and had presumably started working very young. And then we have the King of Pentacles, and I feel as though someone like very innocently went to work with someone who had a lot more than they did, but that person was looking for like people to exploit, but there was a lot of money there. See, a lot of money. Look at all these pentacles. All of these 5 cards are pentacles. So someone in a past life had to earn their money, if you know what I'm saying. Like they really had to work really, really hard for their money, and in order to kind of get a better station in life, it's for their family or for their family to help their family. It was almost like they were self-sacrificing for others. Here is the next card. We have Goddess of Water, sorry. So I feel like this person, this King of Pentacles, needed this kind of energy. There was this, it feels like someone got married to improve everybody's station in life. It seems as though the father had not been there, and the younger brother married off a sister or something like that. And so I feel like the karmic significance is that she got trapped in a relationship with someone who had money and he was very comfortable, and they came from more humble beginnings. And in your life you may feel as though there is a continual circular issue where he kept money from her. He knew the way that things went, right? So he kept money from her. He had it, and she had money through him, but he would never really let her have it either. Here is the next message: unrequited love. And there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. I think what the problem was that this King of Pentacles, he was only like, he had her like an object, and the unrequited love was from him. So she was very self-sacrificing, very pious, and very like, here is, like, she presented herself like to be married as the custom was back then. But I feel like he was just, the karma of the situation has to do with someone who is giving money to someone else but sort of not giving enough, or edging it away ever so slightly so as to keep someone from being able to access it, keep someone from being able to get all of it. And in some way, a very imbalanced position. So you may find yourself in a circumstance in which there's like a opportunity that seems like a good financial solution, and there is money in it, but I think that the price that you'll pay if you pursue it is going to be very, the price that you pay if you pursue it is going to be very high for you. You're going to have to do a lot to get it, and some of those things that you'll have to do are not things that you want to do for yourself. And I don't mean something dark and seedy, it's just somebody has what you want, and they know it, and I think that they in some way they don't mind using that, but that doesn't make it right. Okay, so if you chose this option, that's the karma of the past life situation. Hopefully it gave you some insight about your life. If not, choose another option. Make sure to watch the main video on the main channel for sign analysis and all that. Okay, thank you, bye. Hi guys, if you chose 2, this is the sign you got. So you've got Sagittarius. Okay, so let's find out what your karma is. The Sagittarius part is just for the first reading, so we're not really getting into that, but if you want to take it as a sign, go right ahead. Okay, so here's the karma of your circumstances. We have the Page of Wands. So this is a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I feel as though somebody wanted to achieve a lot. They wanted to achieve a lot. They started early in their life. Then there's the King of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. They were raised by grandparents. And I feel like this person learned to do a lot early on in life, like fishing, or like harvesting food, that kind of thing. 9 of Cups. And I feel like these people, the grandfather and the young child, in some way really had hoped for a certain type of outcome. They both were trying to achieve a certain type of outcome. They both had their hope high for a situation. And then we have the Empress. So it was like a mother and her father, so grandfather, mother, and child lived together. And then the next card is the 6 of Pentacles. They were very happy, and I think that the grandfather and the mother were very much, the grandfather and the father had addressed all the circumstances that were so unfair in their life. And so whatever, they were left at a certain point in their life that they would probably never get through. And So they provided the child with all the opportunities that they were not awarded because their circumstances prevented them from really getting what they wanted out of life. So they were all very, very focused, all three of them, on getting this child through to a level of life that they never enjoyed. Then we have the magician. So I feel as though this, I think that they all wanted the same thing so badly that somebody showed up who was able to provide a way through. So this person was like a magician type energy, someone who like came in and to help this family through, because they were so intent on having like a better outcome. And then we have transformation. Okay, so I feel like it's almost like to try to get this person as far into a positive circumstance as possible. So if you're receiving this reading, I feel like what it represents is that you may feel you're one of these people possibly, or maybe you're the magician. Maybe you're the magician and now this family is going to pay you back for the good deed that you did for them. It's almost like pulling a family out of poverty, because this child was like, they needed to either go to school or they needed to achieve something that was sort of outside of the means of the parents and the grandparents. But I feel like somebody came in and helped, and maybe this family is now coming in this lifetime to help you. Finances and career, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So I feel like you are going to receive something really amazing in this lifetime that comes through the past life, because I think that you were the magician in a past life who in some way initiated something for these people, and their spirit remembers the good karma that you initiated, and so they're back to give it back to you. And I think that that's what's coming in this lifetime. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you didn't like this option, choose another one. You can also choose another one for your friends and family. Watch the first video on the main channel. It's in the description down below. Thank you for watching. Bye. Guys, if you chose this option, you've got the Aquarius. Okay, so this is cool. We're going to take a look at your karma. The Aquarius is a marker for the reading in the past. You can use this as a sign interpretation, but this is to connect it to the first reading that I did on the main channel, so you can check it out in the description if you want. Okay, so here are your cards. This is the karmic message, so you can just disregard the Aquarius if you're just watching for that. So I feel as though someone had a lot. So this is someone who had a lot of resources. This person was super financially stable and had a lot of comfort in their life. There's a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, somebody who's very combative that comes into the circumstances. He is a part of this situation as well. Let's see, these two are together in some way. And then there's the Justice card, Libra. And so I feel as though there was like there is a agreement between people to do I think that there's like people who, they seem like people who have like a agreed upon commitment to do things a certain way. And then we have the Queen of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Secondary transits in water. And I feel as though there's like a bunch of people. Like the Justice card is a person as well. The person who is in some way like at the core of it all is something to do with a Libra. And it may not be in this lifetime. 10 of Pentacles. I feel like some people are in agreement with regard to a financial issue. Some people are in an agreement with regard to gaining money financially. And I don't have an easy feeling about it. Ace of Pentacles. Maybe people are wanting to start a business or initiate something new. But I don't feel easy about these cards at all. I actually feel like these cards are in some way like, what do they want? What are they trying to do? they're initiating something financially, but these two make me feel like they're like, the King of Pentacles is like, I want to bring things in, and the Knight of Swords in some way wants to fight for it, and the Queen of Cups is kind of passively sitting in the distance, and they all want something. And the Justice card is like, it's not the part of justice that has to do with, the Justice card isn't the part of justice that has to do with like exerting like moral justice. The Justice card represents someone who wants to attain balance and justice for their, it's like so subjective, it's not even ultimate. Goddess of Water. So this is this Queen of Cups. There's Queen of Cups is really holding on emotionally. She's holding on to something emotionally, and I think she's like, she's Queen of Cups is holding on to something emotionally, and I feel like it doesn't take much to encourage them to do anything, because they're just looking for something, not necessarily to do, but they're looking for something to like to agree to do. They're looking for a purpose. And we have the Retreat card. It's time to disconnect from the world. I feel as though something is taking them away in a new direction. If you're, this isn't a past life, this happened. I feel as though it feels very much like scheming and like organization to try to get money in some way, but a very fast way, like get it and leave it and go, you know? And I feel like these people sort of in some way want to, they're initiating something. On the one side, there's this like opportunity to build business, but on the other side, there's like a, this feels like subjective justice. It's like justice in water. Like that's exactly like it's so many emotions that the justice can't be objective or related or somewhat objective, right? And people like get away from them because the three of them together are really powerful and strong. And they are, you know, when people delude themselves and they say like, they delude themselves and they say like, we're in it for this, or we're in it to save society, but they're actually in it for like ulterior motives. That's what I feel it is. It's something like that. It's like they're saying it's one way, but it's really not that way. I think that they're going for that financial goal. And I think that the karmic ramifications of this is that you came across these people in some way, and the Retreat card, like I want to get away from this situation, honestly. I'm like, that's like righteousness and, you know, greed for money and those kinds of things, and I'm like, I just want to stay away from whatever, and they'll justify what they're, it's not worth discussing, it's not worth arguing about. Hopefully that gives you some insight. If you don't like this option, choose another option, and they'll justify what they're, it's not worth discussing, it's not worth arguing about. Hopefully that gives you some insight. If you don't like this option, choose another option, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi guys, if you chose number 4, here is your answer. You got Scorpio. So this is a cross-reference to the reading that I did on the first channel. The link is in the description if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you can watch the beginning of this video. But I'm not going to talk about this as your past life. It's just for the other video as a cross-reference if you want to find out the karmic significance of what's going on. Okay, so the first card that jumped out was the Ten of Pentacles. So this has to do with a lot of money and a lot of family money kind of going around. Family money, family situations, money going back and forth. Here is the next message. We have the Two of Pentacles. This is on the brink of financial change, not for the family specifically, but more like financial change in a bigger scope. Like this is financial change how do I say this? It's financial change, like the Industrial Revolution, where a lot of people made money, some people lost money, that kind of thing. So there's a shift, a social shift around this family. And then we have the Eight of Rods. I feel like there's hope. I think that this feels like more like immigration to North America, like the hope that on the other side there's something far away that they can reach that will answer the questions that they're struggling with. And then we have the Knight of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, secondary transits in Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I feel as though there was someone who was very assertive, who pulled the situation or the family in a specific direction. And I feel like this person was a bit of a risk taker, and they took risks that everybody else had to deal with and live with. Then there's the Hermit. I feel like that's the Scorpio. The Scorpio sort of went along but had their own decision or their own agenda about things, so they had to fall in line with what everything else was going on. And then we have the Ace of Rods or Ace of Wands in some decks. So I feel like the Scorpio, which was the Hermit, the loner, it could have been a Virgo as well, but they in some way were trying to find their own way. So the family was like a nexus, right? Interwoven and interconnected. And then there was like a social structure that was holding them in a certain place that this person upset because something was going on, like a financial shift, a social financial shift. The family may have been losing money or gaining money, and there was like someone in the family took a massive risk. And I feel like this person, you, didn't feel like that risk was smart, and so you started looking for another solution, which is a part of the karma, is like finding a solution. So if you're watching this in this lifetime, you may feel as though other people have taken risks you wouldn't feel comfortable with taking in your life. There may have been shifts within your family recently. You may have felt like the oddball trying to find your own way, your own way through things, your own way of figuring things out, you know. Yeah, so there was definitely, like, there was a glimmer of hope, and somebody went for it, and you felt nervous about it. You didn't feel so comfortable. So that's the karma of the current time. We have nurture. So you are taking care of something in your life, and that's your karma, that you're supposed to bring about and nurture, but it's not by taking risks. And this person, there's a guilt associated, because once that risk was taken, that person also had the guilt that came along with it. So in some way they came to realize the folly. So they could be showing up in your life right now as someone who's A, making risks and kind of pulling you in with them, or B, as a person who is in some way really trying to compensate for something, and you're like, why are you trying to, like, I don't get what you're trying to make me feel okay with. And I feel like you feel preoccupied, that you want to like nurture something, that you want to take care of something and nurture it and make it your own, away from your family business, or away from your family, just do your own thing. And I think that that's, you feel like that's your destiny, and that's the way you need to go, which finances and career. So yeah, very money oriented financial issues. I'm reading through the prompter. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So I feel like the karma that's repeating is, and the thing that you're refining in terms of like what you're karmically supposed to do, is that you're supposed to go through these experiences and kind of figure out, you're supposed to go through these experiences and figure it out faster and faster and faster in each lifetime. So you're pulling away from all these people with whom you have, people who make decisions for their family, you know, for other people in their family. and pull other people into the consequences of those decisions. And I feel like your karma has to do with breaking away from the net of that. And you've been doing that for many lifetimes. If you enjoyed this karmic reading, then please leave me a like and a comment. If you want to choose another option, please go ahead. And thank you for watching. If you want to watch the Scorpio reading, go to the main video and check it out there. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye. Guys, if you chose this option, let's take a look at what you have. So you had the sign Pisces. This is more relevant if you're coming in from the reading from the main channel, but if you want to take that as a sign, please go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Let's find out here. Let's get her off the star so you can see her face. And I'll tell you the karmic significance. So in other words, if you're just popping in to watch this video, just listen for the karmic message and not for the Pisces sign. That's a connection to another reading I did that's in the description, okay? Okay, so let's find out your first message. We have the Knight of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, secondary transits in air, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, somebody making an offer, and then we have the Lovers. So I feel like there's a deep loving connection between people here. There's a interconnected love that is shared between people, deep interconnection, deep need for each other. And then we have the Star. So this is the card of soulmates. I do feel like there's people here that feel like they are soulmates, people that are meant to be together, and I think that they've spent certain lifetimes together, a certain portion of those lifetimes. Then we have the Page of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, secondary transits in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. That could be the people, but I feel as though this is a disruptive energy, so I feel like they're honestly, I feel like maybe in some lifetimes this had to do with infidelity, like someone came in who was jealous of this energy and this energy and had to come in and disrupt this energy. And then we have the Ace of Cups, new love coming out of that. This is a love triangle, and the Nine of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. This is a love triangle that keeps on, I think that it keeps on going around and around. Like, I feel like there's two people involved. Well, there's three people involved, and two show up as the same gender. It's a heterosexual relationship. It doesn't matter. But the point is that when two are in love, then the other one steals it, and they just kind of go around and around and around and like steal each other's relationship. It's like each lifetime, and then it ends up happy, one person ends up sad, and then they come back in the following lifetime and steal the other person's person. And then we have the new growth. So in this lifetime, I feel like there's a bit of a resolution to things. I feel as though there's been deception in order to try to get these things. So in and of itself, it's not such a bad message, but I feel like the karmic significance of what's been going on has been that there's been like backstabbing, right? Backstabbing and lying to like steal someone's person, to get them to shift what they wanted to do, even cast magic or something like that. And I feel like in this lifetime, look at these cards, the Lovers, the Star, the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Cups. I feel like there's a better way that you are finding to express and to come in this new direction. I think that there's a better outcome for everyone here. There's like I feel as though one person is leaving. Maybe the Pisces is leaving this dynamic. There's a fulfillment of wishes, a new relationship that's forming, but it's different than before when it would just circle around between the three. So it's not like in each lifetime they would switch over and over and over. Through the lifetimes they would like steal each other's person and you know, carry on, and then in the following lifetime there will be another betrayal. There's a message of flirting. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So I think that maybe there's somebody is finding love in new directions, and I think that the feeling of betrayal, even though there's a lot of love here, there's such a theme of betrayal here that really weighs down the heart. It really weighs down the experience that a person is feeling. And so it's really a celebration lifetime. The karmic energy is celebratory because it's like it's coming in now, and it's saying like you are now getting to celebrate. You're now in a different direction. So maybe now maybe that it's not breaking right yet, but I think soon enough there will be something new that will be antithetical to this love triangle trifecta thing that's going on. So somebody will soon break off and go within a few lifetimes. Somebody will break off and go in their own direction, and this love triangle will break apart, and there will be no more betrayal in this situation, and two people will end up together, and one person will get compensated. So I think that this is like branching out. And when I say get compensated, they'll fall in love with someone else and have that same level of love. Because it's been, imagine, constantly 1 out of 3 people is brokenhearted, while the other ones are like so in love. And each lifetime it happens. But we have new growth here, so now that's all breaking up. And 2 people get to stay in love, and the third person gets to go find love somewhere else. So I hope you guys enjoyed this option. If you didn't really like it, then go choose another one, or you can choose one for your friends or for your family members. If you want to see the original video where I described the zodiac sign and the description of your lifetime, then maybe go in the description and watch that video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. We're going to take a look at number 6. So we have the Capricorn. Okay, so this is a reference point to that first reading I did on the main channel. That's linked in the description down below. You can take that as your past life message, but we're looking at the karma here, less so than the zodiac point. Okay, so let's find out. I like how the star is above his head. Okay, Capricorn's on fire these days. Okay, so let's see your message. We have the Hanged Man. Okay, so I'm so surprised that this is the first time this card has come up in all the readings I did for this topic. I feel as though somebody didn't get to be everything that they wanted. They had things that were holding them back from becoming who they wanted. I feel as though responsibilities towards family kept them back. And then we have the Six of Wands. Ultimately, they found a solution in a past life. So that was the karma. They couldn't get away, and then they figured out a way, and they persevered through the restriction. And then the Two of Pentacles. So they had to earn everything themselves. That it's not like, it seemed like they came from a wealthy family, but they had to earn everything themselves. Their family did not help them in any way. Their family did not help them in any way. Their family sort of restricted their progress. The next message is the Eight of Rods. And so I feel like they spoke really kindly of themselves and their situation. They always hid what actually had happened, in terms of like they would never tell anyone that they were in some way held back by people that they were connected with and their family members, or they never told the particulars of how unfair it was for them. The next message is the Knight of Swords. They met someone who was much more to do with like telling the truth, letting it out in the open, but I feel like that person pushed things too far. And so I feel like that person really kind of, I get the word French, I don't know why that came through, but that person like was just too cavalier, and so he was not sensitive to private confidential information, and he let things out. And Justice is the Libra card, and I feel like basically the karma is that this person, you know, tried to react to the fact that they were suppressed. They were doing well in terms of the work they were putting into things, but I think that then they tried to cut corners, and they met someone who, in trying to cut corners, they met someone who was like an extreme of that, and he brought into their life like really, or she brought into their life like a really weird dynamic where kind of a dangerous sort of thing, like things that they never had initially. And so in order to set themselves free, they sort of expose themselves to someone that was way too much of that. So I feel as though now the focus of the energy is to like bring karma back into balance, because it's too on the transparent side. It's too open. It's too expressive. But that side was too restrictive, too insular. And so now they're trying to find a happy place. If you're getting this, you've probably been caught between these dynamics, between you kind of have to go make it on your own. The option is you have to make it on your own, or you're completely suppressed. And then you've probably had like a massive rebellion phase where you sort of made bold moves and brought the wrong people in, and now you're kind of coming back to yourself to find a more balanced approach. You know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and that really comes to mind when I look at this, because you see this as like a very suppressed energy, and this is a very aggressive energy that is in some way completely the antithesis of the hanged man. And so I feel like hopefully you can heal the initial wound, so that over lifetimes when this person comes in, you don't give them that much of sway on your life. Okay? And then we have deception. Yeah, so someone wasn't what they seemed, right? It seemed like he was an inspiration and something liberal and something wonderful and great. But I think that you had a karmic connection with someone who was a disruptor, and it actually happened because several lifetimes this person in some way showed up in your lifetime, in your past life, and before it was even more chaotic. So you're actually kind of, the ripples are getting more and more mild, less and less intense. Attraction, yeah. So I feel like you were like really strongly attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, but I think that you attracted this person. You attracted this person because they were such an opposite to the suppression, but they were dangerous. They were like completely a danger to you and your way of life. And so hopefully, if you haven't had this moment, be on the lookout of someone who's like very, very attractive to you, and that's a dangerous person that you have to be wary of. It's like that, it's, you know, when you're attracted to someone that goes beyond some kind of superficial attraction, there's like a boof kind of feeling, the boof, B-O-O-F, boof. It's that kind of feeling. It's like that really intense, and you don't know where it's coming from, but you feel that super attraction to someone. But I think that they're very dangerous, and I think you should be very careful. Not dangerous in and of themselves, it's just how they handle life and circumstances is very dangerous for you. So be careful with that guy, okay? If you guys don't, or girl, if you guys don't like this option, choose another option. This is your karmic message though, and check out the first video to find out what like Capricorn is all about, what their life was like and who they were and all that. Okay, thanks, bye. Guys, if you chose this option, you have Libra. Okay, so you can cross-reference this with the first reading and find out what your life was like. But now I'm going to do a karmic reading. So if you're just jumping into this reading and you just want a karmic message, feel free. You don't have to connect it with Libra. Let me know if you're a Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, though. That would be fun. Okay, so let's find out what your karmic message is. Your first message is the Eight of Cups. So disappointment, sadness, walking away. This is Saturn in Pisces. Walking away from a good thing. Melancholy, ambivalence towards things, feelings of just not feeling super excited. And then there's the King of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. So you are with someone who has a very clear vision for themselves, but you are not too enthusiastic. You just go along with it because it is what it is. Here is the next message. We have the Last Judgment card, a big decision. This is a beautiful Phoenix card. So a big decision that is being made about circumstances. I feel like the person, the King of Wands, is making decisions on behalf of the person. That's probably the Libra person and the Eight of Cups. and those decisions are final. Now, when you make last judgment decisions, those represent like the totality of things, and you take on the responsibility, the karmic responsibility of them. So it's not only physically shielding this person, but it's also karmically shielding this person. This person's not growing, their karma is not growing, it's suspended for now. Then we have the Five of Cups. This person's melancholy. It's like they're so protected and so safe, but they are bored. They're disappointed, and then they have to go along with someone else's call, their own, other people's decision. And the Moon. I feel as though the King of Wands is really sad, because I think that he understands that the Libra energy or the past life energy doesn't really understand what he is giving. So but he understands that's because he's giving so well, and she or he doesn't understand what they're missing out on, but they're very much protected. And the next message is the Knight of Swords. The last decision, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Secondary transits in Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I feel as though there's a disruptor energy. I think that this is the karmic situation. The malaise of this person's so ambivalent towards their life and what's going on. The disappointment and the boredom that they're feeling is so great that it attracts a person who's going to disrupt that, because this person's protecting them, but the incongruency in the feelings, the lack of, like, this person, the karma between these people is getting skewed, because this person's absorbing all the karma and this person's absorbing none, and therefore that becomes a karmic exchange. And so this person comes in because this person's sort of ungrateful and doesn't recognize what the King of Wands is actually doing for them. And so that lack of gratitude is attracting an energy that's going to disrupt the generosity of what they're receiving, right? And then we have the Goddess of Water. This came up a lot. So Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I feel like, yeah, the emotions are like ripples. They're sending out messages, and I feel like it's bringing in like a direct challenge to serenity that this King of Wands has established. It's almost like getting someone into a prestigious school. This is the dad, this is the kid, and the kid not wanting to go. And it's like, and then someone coming in that helps the kid in some way not to go by, going on an adventure and wasting their time. And this person's sad and heartbroken about it because he understands the significance, but this person doesn't understand it yet. So it's like the karmic lesson of all this is that this person needs to get off their high horse. But how do you do that when you don't know the difference, when you've never been in the other position, when you don't understand what you're playing with? I think that hopefully over time this person's disenchantment and malaise decreases, and then this person won't come into their life. I feel as though many of you have lived this through already, and now you're like, oh man, that's how my situation was. And we have playfulness. Yeah, just to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. But I feel like you're supposed to, in this situation, very much find gratitude and trust in someone who's watching over you. That doesn't mean that you need to be like submissive or like controlled by someone else. But if somebody's cutting you a break, I feel like that is a karmic thing, and that's coming through a past life. And breaks, honestly, I'm telling you, breaks are hard to find. And so if you are being given one, be careful before you throw it out the door, Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let me know if you like it or not. Choose another option if you want, and also check out the Libra reading in the first reading on the main channel. That's linked in the description, or choose another one of the options for another karmic message. Have a nice day. Bye. Okay, so if you chose 8, here is your card. We have Gemini for 8. Okay. So let's find out your karmic significance. This is for the first reading more so than this one. If you just want a standalone karmic message, then just sit tight and listen. And feel free to choose another option if you like after hearing this one. Let's see your message. We have the Knight of Wands, Gemini. This is a Sag, a Leo, or Aries. Secondary transits in air, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. This is someone who comes in very fast. This is a very hypnotizing person. Somebody came into your life very quickly. And then the Justice card. Balance, order, fairness. Libra may be involved. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is financial growth and financial benefit. I feel as though someone came in and gave you money in order to make things fair for you in your life. The next message is we have the Ten of Swords. I feel as though this is a person to stay away from. This is good, this is bad, and this person comes in and messes up your life. If you're a Gemini, fine. This is a past life karmic situation. So you had proximity to some like pretty evil person, and the consequences of that were great. But then on the other side, there was also a lot of balance and a lot of options in good directions that led to a lot of financial growth and stability. The next message is the Seven of Swords. And so what this represents is that when you held on to this energy and when you let it go, that's when good things came into your life. This is someone who attacks. It feels like time and again, in lifetime and again, you've been attacked quite severely, like someone who comes from a very bad place emotionally and in their head. And it's shocked, it's like a trauma, but when you release that, then that's when you can really enjoy your life, and that's when life brings you in money and financial success. And then we have the Ten of Wands. There'll be a lot of responsibilities. The more that you kind of rest on your laurels, the more that you sort of, how do you say, like try to experience catharsis regarding what happened, the more time you lose and the more intense this Ten of Wands is going to be. So hold on. I have someone vacuuming above me, and then I have someone, the light coming in very, very quickly because it's that time of day. So hold on. I'm going to try to salvage this video. Sorry if it gets a little janky here. But yeah, so I think that we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands means that the longer that you rest and try to recalibrate from a bad situation, and this has happened time and again, this is karmic, right? When you get back on that horse, the more you're going to have to address, and that's going to be a lot of responsibility. You're walking into great abundance. I think this is just a message of like, don't give too much time into this situation. Don't give too much. This is just a bad energy, a bad boyfriend, a bad experience, a bad boss. You can't sit around and be worried about it. You have to release it and let it go and move on. There's so much abundance coming in for you now that release those bad energies. Then we have flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Other people want to hear you, and if it's that Gemini vibe, then it's full of like excitement and joy and like just wonderful things going on, right? So it's just a bunch of positive energy that you in some way here. We did it. It's gnarly, hey? Okay, so sorry that it's dark like this. Oh yes, okay. So anyway, so it's the end of the video, but the sun came out. It comes behind a building and then it messes everything up. But I do want to tell you guys that the big message here, the karmic message, is very clear, that you have to let go of this clear and directed attack at you, and you have to let go of it. And the quicker that you do, life is going to pick up again. It's like, you know, when you have a bad friend and then everything sucks, and the moment that that friend leaves your life, it's like good things come in. It's that kind of energy. And the more that you don't address the things that you need to take care of, the more you're going to have to deal with them when they come at you. The more you'll have to deal with them, the more intense they'll be. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't like this message, check out another option. Go to that, or you can check out the first video, which is in the description. Okay? Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe. This is Pick a Card. Okay? Thanks. Bye. Guys, so if you chose this option, you've got Taurus. Okay, so you can cross-reference this reading to the first reading based on sign. I'm not going to really interpret this in a past life, but if you want to take that as your sign being Taurus, please go ahead. I'm going to just give you a karmic message, and if you like this message, leave me a like. Leave me a like either way. Just choose another message if you don't like this one, okay? The first card that kind of flipped out that I didn't pull out is the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like somebody worked really hard. I feel like all Tauruses who are Tauruses now worked really, really hard in past lives. I feel like that they've been Tauruses many times through, and that's why they have this energy. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody started a very successful business, and what happened was that that business had, the message is coming from a time when that business had started, you know, just started. So it was like, it's like the first year of Google, like 1998, you know, or like, how do you say, like, first year of Google, or for example, like maybe like Ford Motor Company before the first car, that kind of thing. Three of Wands. I feel like good luck came in at the right time. It was like a connection that was made at the right time in order to facilitate growth. The next message is we have the Nine of Wands, and what this represents is that there was success behind the doors. There was ways that a person was making money that a lot of people didn't know about, and it wasn't illegal or anything. It was just very close to their chest. They weren't sharing that information with anyone. It was a very kind of hidden agenda, hidden motivation. Here is the next message. We have the Six of Rods. Somebody won. Somebody had won at something. They were very successful at having won through their situation, and somebody had won at something. They had really persevered through a situation despite the odds, despite what other people thought, or what they kind of stopped thinking. And I think the karmic message is like, maybe you should stop listening to what other people say as well, not thinking, just listening to what other people say. And that's when they found great success, when they stopped kind of asking other people what their opinion was. And this person achieved a lot in their lifetime. And then we have the Justice card, the Libra card. I feel like they had a very clear mind and a very clear perception of everything that was happening around them. So I feel like they were very clearly saying what they needed to do, and if anybody else's opinion was a part of that, then I feel like that almost made them feel like that was clouding their judgment. And the Knight of Wands. So I feel like the Nine of Wands and the Knight of... Somebody came in with a financial offer. This person saw what this person was up to, and they came in what this person was up to, and they came in with a temptation, but that temptation wasn't good. And in some instances, that person took the temptation and they lost a lot because of it. But I think the point is to in some way avoid the temptation that's coming. And that's the karmic message, that you're onto something good energetically, and that you're supposed to avoid the temptation. Someone who's good at, you know, people come to me all the time and they say, I've always been with a narcissist. I talk to a lot of clients in a year, you know, and they say, what do I do to bring them around? Like, no, it's they're good at spotting the people who are susceptible to them, you know. And so the goal is to just learn how to not fall for their tricks. So it's not like you deserve this, that you brought this in. This person hones in on you. That's the part of their villainy, right? Here is the next message. We have passion. And so I feel like, yeah, someone earned a lot, and then someone comes in and says, I can make you so much richer. But I think that it's kind of low-key BS, you know. I think that this person, the karma is, I can't influence your karma, but I think basically what it's saying is that, like, there's like a bad temptation coming in that's offering seedy things, you know, seedy things, or things that are not so genuine, and that you're risking a lot of things that you have earned to pursue those things that are being offered. New love, a new person has stirred your romantic feeling. It's almost like, in certain respects, this is like the temptation for adultery, and in some lifetimes that's how you had a stable relationship or have a stable relationship, and then someone shows up and kind of seduces you and gives you that, you know, emotional offer or suggestion, and you're like, ooh, this sounds like a good deal. Let me tell you, it's not, you know. I think it'll fall flat. But you make your own decision. Don't risk your life on a fast whim, okay? If you don't like this message, then choose another option. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Cross-reference this by watching the first video on the main channel, where I talk about Taurus and what your past life was like, how you were as a Taurus, and all of that stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye. Hi guys, if you chose this option, this is number 10, right? So you were a Cancer. Okay, so Cancer in your past life. Well, not really. This is a reference for the first reading. So you can go check that out on my main channel. This is your karmic message. So you can take it as a Cancer in your past life, but this is more to do with that first reading. So you can watch the extended part of that. But if you're just jumping into the middle of this reading just randomly, then go and hopefully this is a good karmic message. Okay, so here we go. Here's your karmic message. We have the Six of Wands, personal victory and success, and then 10 of Swords. So success at the cost of something, you know, success, but there is a consequence to that success. And the consequence is that you have to take something completely out of your life in order to have success. It's like success in dieting is to take out all that cake. Taking out all that cake is the 10 of Swords for many of us. Then we have the Knight of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra in the second placement. So I feel like there is someone who is coming in who is offering something. I think the message is you have to do you, whatever it is, even if you are broken, even if you are limited, even if you are not fully developed / healed yet, then you gotta be proud and do your own thing without the fear of failure, because people will recognize that and contribute to the positive vibe that you are putting out there. The next message is the Eight of Rods. It's like communicating from your heart to say what you really want. Express who you are, express your true feelings, expressing your true intentions. Here is the next message. We have the King of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This is a person who likes what he likes because he owns it all. He likes everything as it is. It's comfortable. Everybody can fall in line with his ways of doing things. You know, he's the top dog, that kind of thing. And I feel as though there's a defiance here. There's someone who wants to keep the status quo, who's near you, because it serves them. You know, that's why people fight for the status quo, because it serves them. That's why people fight for change, because it serves them, right? And so I feel like somebody wants a change, and they're under the power, this power dynamic of someone else who is very comfortable and has no incentive to change. And so I feel like soon enough somebody will come in with another offer. And the Knight of Wands. I feel like this person, Six of Wands, victory, right? You're victorious. I think this whole thing, this is this person's backup. At first I thought this person was coming to you, but I feel like more importantly, this is you going straight and narrow for yourself while you in some way prune away these other energies that are coming at you. And they're literally water signs, fire signs, earth signs, all masculine energies. So it could be like people you date that are trying to break you off your beaten path, or the path you know that's right for you. Or it could be also people trying to discourage you from doing you and live life according to them, but primarily his opinion and his. And so I think that this is like you figuring out what path is right for you, and you're supposed to in some way kind of be excited about that for yourself and just slam the door on these people. Like maybe this sounds like very, or seems very like intoxicating, like beautiful, something you want. Even death is, and the horse is looking over to him, but no, she is victorious doing her own thing. And this can be any gender also. The truth, right? She is the carrier of the truth. That's the karma. And in some lifetimes you have tried to go off with these people, but each one of them is not good. So the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the King of Discs. So Sag, Leo, or Aries, young guy, Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio, young guy, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, older guy, or like more mature energy. And it could be a girl, it could be the inverse. So the truth is like that you've already won. There's no reason to debate. They're just attaching themselves to you because they're sore losers. And then you have past life relationships. You have known each other before. I'm putting all the cards over here, but for you guys, just so you see it, and this is Sun and Gemini, this card. So all these people, past life relationships, next. Where you're going is much brighter, much better for you, much more reflective of who you are. If you didn't like this option, please choose another option. If you want to look at Cancer, then go to the first video and go check it out there. There I'll explain what your zodiac sign was when you were in your past life, and then who you were, what was going on back then. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for watching. This is number 11, right? So you have Aries. So if you chose Aries, then go check out the first video. There I'll explain who you were as an Aries if you want to go that route. But today, this is just a cross-reference between the readings. You can use this as a pick a sign, but we are going to take a look at a karmic message for you. The first card that fell out is a fulfillment of wishes, Aries. Now this isn't for Aries, this is for any sign. So this is your karmic message if you chose 11. Okay, so we have the fulfillment of wishes, Jupiter and Pisces. Happiness, I love this card so much. Fulfillment of wishes, comfort. And I have the Ankh on my thumb. It's not a cross, it's an Ankh, and he's holding the Ankh. It's a symbol of life and divinity. And so I feel like, and also the uterus. Hey girl, hey. So we have the Nine of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. Something really beautiful happened. A miracle happened in someone's life. Three of Wands. A positive outcome to a situation you didn't think you could get through. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is investment in the future. Investment in the future. Taking what you have and applying it towards the future. Somebody was saving money, a lot of money, for the future, for future generations. There was a real priority to like take what you have and apply it into the future. The next message is the Page of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. It's almost like saving a wish. I think you have a wish coming, because this feels to me like you saved a wish for the future in a past life. So I think that you're meant to make a wish. I don't think you should make this wish now. I think you should save it for a very special day. Here, I'm giving it to you. There you go. But I feel it really, somebody saved a wish, a really big wish. This isn't like a regular wish. I think you guys have this, you're supposed to make a wish. that's going to be very magical and very powerful. No matter how you stumbled on this message, that message is for you, and you don't have to be an Aries or a Gemini. This is the Lover's card, which represents Gemini, to have that granted. Something amazing is coming through, and I think that it's been saved through lifetimes. And when you feel it in your heart, like you're supposed to make that wish, that's when you're supposed to make it. It's like, it's a very powerful energy, and it's only goodness, you know. Here is the next message. We have the Three of Cups, a reunion, 2 3s right there, 33. A union, a reunion, bringing something back, the wish is coming back into you. Wow, the wish is coming back into your lifetime now. The next card is the Four of Wands, home, happiness, family. That's what the wish is about. But you're going to make it from your heart when you feel like you need it, when you feel like it's the right time. I think this is the wish of a lifetime. I think that this is the wish of several lifetimes. And I think it was saved for you for this lifetime to make. So something you wish for is going to come true. But don't wish for Bobby to like you. Like, wish for something substantial, you know, like wish for something really, really impressive, because it's been saved for lifetimes. It's karmic. And the card fell out, and we have alchemy. Yeah, it feels like magic. Magic was done in your favor so that you could have something in this lifetime. And it's not just for Aries or somebody who chose Aries. Whoever chose number 11, 11, 11, this is what you get. And then you have past life relationship. You have known each other before. This Page of Cups, this magical little being. This magical little being that in some way took that wish through and brought it here for you. You know, that wish was brought here from the past into the present for you to have a wish come true. If you want to pass this up, then I don't know what you're thinking, but you can choose another option, or choose another option for your friend or family. Also watch the first reading for Aries. Maybe that will give you some insight about this as well. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hi guys, if you chose number 12, this is your sign. So you had Virgo. So you can cross-watch this to the first video I did on the main channel. That is in the description down below. But this is a standalone karmic message, so you don't have to have been a Virgo in a past life. You don't have to be a Virgo now. But it helps. No, I'm just kidding, because I'm a Virgo. Okay, so let's take a look. Your first message is the Three of Swords. Okay, so I feel Virgos, you guys are getting a lot of this like brokenheartedness, and I think that that goes beyond like just having a broken heart and having some sadness come into your life. I think it's more substantial. I think it has to do with like significant past life loss. And then we have the Sun. So overcoming heartache with a really good phase of life coming after some significant loss, and that makes you at peace with that loss. So time and again in past lives or in current lives, you have gone through loss and sadness for an extended period of time, and then that's counterbalanced with a lot of good coming into your life. Then we have the 10 of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. So I feel like there is, some people have, in the past life, somebody lost a child, and so when that child and that parent is reunited in a future life, that is a beautiful energy. And I feel like there's like a child that didn't make it through. There's a child that didn't make it into this lifetime, but then there's also compensation after the whole decision is made, whether or not it happens. And I don't mean like you've made the decision, I mean like the universe decides, or however it happens. There's like it's like you put a ball in the pinball machine and you won't know until it finishes which way it's gonna go, right? And then once it goes, then once that decision is made one way or another, then whether that person is here or not, then you get fulfillment of wishes. So one way or another. So if you feel as though you're missing someone in your life, you will receive a bunch of other abundance to tide you through until you're reconnected, if that makes sense. And until that time, it might feel a really trepidatious. It might feel like really, how do you say, like rocky, and life might be really painful, and you may wonder why you're so sad and what you're missing, and that's what you're missing before that final last judgment on the situation is. Because at some point it's not going to happen in this lifetime. In other lifetimes it has happened, in other lifetimes it didn't happen, and it's happening here right now. That's a really powerful message. Two of Pentacles. And so you'll gather yourself and you'll figure out what to do one way or the other. But you're going to be blessed either way. It's just in some lifetimes you're meant to have a reconnection with this person, and in some lifetimes you're not. And the next message is the moon. One thing I love about this deck is the sun and the moon, and they come she actually sold them separately, the paintings, and I wish that she had sold them together because they're so beautiful together. Look at this. I'll show you guys since it came up. But the moon is like, you'll always like feel like something didn't come through, right? You'll always feel like there was something that was supposed to be around that wasn't. Secret feelings. You'll always feel like, I think that decision is being made, and I think that there's peace about the matter, but there's also like memories of what could have been if it had worked out differently. But that doesn't mean it's not working out. I think it's still up in the air. It's a coin toss. You can literally do a coin toss right now if you're brave. I don't recommend it because that's really scary to me. But you could do a coin toss right now and get like a quick decision, yes or no. Is that person coming in? You know, heads and tails. Because you can see the Two of Coins. So this option gives you the coin toss option. So you choose, you know, make a choice one way or the other. But I don't recommend it because, like, imagine you get no, then you could be crushed. So it's better to kind of wait, and because there's no judgment here, right? This is only the predicament. This is the karmic predicament. And then we have fertility. I didn't see it. No lie. Fertility. Boom. That's crazy, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you guys, yeah. I deserve like 1 million likes for that one. And here we go. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. But I think that also comes in this whole nexus of this situation or this predicament, that you have to love yourself first, Virgo. You have to in some way get in tune with like who you are. You have to get in tune with who you are, right? Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a nice day. And the more in tune with who you are, the more at peace you are with whatever's happening. But if you're brave, do a coin toss and it'll tell you right there, right here, right now. Let me know in the comments what you got. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. So I'm going to just show you guys exactly which card is which sign. Don't watch this part if you have not watched the first video on my main channel, which is in the description, or if you haven't, if you're not looking for a spoiler, because this is going to spoil the numbers of the pick a card. So what sign is what position. So I'm going to just turn over the signs right now. So if you chose one, so this is, so if you have done that first reading, we have Leo first, and then we have Sag. So if you're trying to cross-reference from the video on my main channel to this one, this is going to help you quickly cross-reference. So if you chose Sagittarius on the other channel, you can go here and say, oh, Sagittarius is number 2. Okay, so I'm going to go to number 2 in the timestamps and get a deeper karmic resonance. Aquarius is 3. Okay. And Scorpio is 4. And Pisces is 5. Capricorn is 6. and Libra is 7, and Gemini is 8, Taurus is 9, Moon, this is Cancer, I don't have the Cancer card, is 10, Aries is 11, and Virgo is 12. So hopefully this will give you an insight in terms of which number you should watch next. So if you just want to go by sign, then you can go choose these as well. And so I hope you enjoyed the pick a card, and I hope you enjoy this as well. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.